So, am I starting a new series now? Maybe. This might become a regular thing if it gets some positive reception. You be the judge of that yourself. But what I want to do are some videos on upcoming talent that could potentially become champions or stars in their divisions. I'm gonna kind of go over their records, see what their background is, along with covering their style. There is plenty of up-and-coming talent in MMA, and that number is only going to grow over the coming years. It is also important to note that MMA is not like other sports. In a sport like, say, American football, where many individuals fall under a single banner or team, you have the New England Patriots, who have 53 players under their roster, all paid salary. All will play at least 17 games a year. Win or lose, they will get their money. In MMA, this is not the case. It is on a fight-by-fight basis. So, I think it is important that we look at these up-and-coming talent and start to pay more attention to the undercards. These athletes put their health on the line in every event and are only able to perform so many times before it is time to hang up the gloves. That brings us to today's topic in Adrian Yanez. His professional record is 13-3, and he is a guy that caught people's eye on the Contender Series with his swift knockout of Brady Huang in less than a minute, and his emotional speech after the fight honoring his late father. Some people dislike quick finishes, and to a degree I understand why. We don't get to see the show and the spectacle. Humans like to see other humans brawl incoherently until one person falls over unconscious or exhausted in a bloody heap on the floor. I, for one, can respect the work and dedication it took to become technically gifted enough to dismantle another trained combatant in professional competition. And yes, I'm aware that when a fight ends quickly, we don't get to see more potential scenarios that could potentially give us more information about other aspects that fighter may or may not be working on. You know the type of fans I'm referring to. People always talk about potential, but when we get a finish, we get to see potential achieved, and that is what we got with Adrian Yanez versus Brady Huang. Potential achieved. Adrian worked so hard to get to the UFC, and you can truly tell how relieved he is. This was a pretty emotional moment, and in a format that is pretty exclusive to MMA. Yanez said in an interview about joining the UFC, "I don't know what he would think, but I know what he would tell me. He would tell me, I knew you could do this. I knew you could be here." Yanez made him and his father's dream a reality. He made it to the UFC and is now competing against the top talent in the world. Why don't we have a look at what he has done since arriving? So far, he has stacked up well in the promotion by winning 2 fights since competing in the Contender Series, both by KO. Yanez is a particularly gifted kickboxer, fluently mixing together combinations and unpredictable movement. In his first outing since the Contender Series, he managed to pick apart and knocked out Victor Rodriguez inside the first 3 minutes of round number 1. The experts will tell you we didn't learn much from this fight, but experts are just fans in suits anymore, so I'll take the mantle on this one. Also, this is going to be a speed breakdown. Rodriguez attempted to clinch up within the first 30 seconds or so and started fishing for a takedown. Yanez kept his composure and got underhooks. He was able to nullify Rodriguez's offense here, eventually circling out and taking the center of the cage. Rodriguez attempts to push forward and even lands a hard shot that Yanez appears to straight up eat. It's clear he is willing to take one to give one. They dance until Yanez lands a clean right counter that definitely stunned Rodriguez. From here, Yanez pushes forward with a calm technicality that you only see from top-level strikers, picking his shots and showing movement from all angles, even setting him down once. Keep that moment in mind for later. He pieces up Rodriguez until the final sequence where Yanez switches southpaw and lands a beautiful head kick as Rodriguez is circling to his right. Perfectly placed and perfectly timed. This fight showcased that Yanez could perform under the pressure of being in the UFC and also has worked extensively on his takedown defense prior to the UFC. Within 2 fights, he has shown a masterclass striking display, as well as a certain haste to not be grounded and bullied by his opponents. This all without talking about his most recent and most telling fight against Gustavo Lopez. That fight is a little long for a round-by-round breakdown in the context of what this video is trying to do, but we definitely learned a lot from it. For example, Lopez landed many good, powerful shots in that fight, and not once did Yanez appear hurt or phased in any way. He just continued to walk Lopez down throughout the bout. I think it might also be noteworthy that he didn't appear tired either. The fight lasted into the 3rd round, he got hit by a few good shots, defended takedown attempts, and still managed to conserve his energy effectively. Exciting, fun to watch, and high fight IQ. What more could you ask for in a combat athlete? Especially an up-and-comer such as Yanez. There is only one flaw that I feel he needs to work on. Remember that moment from earlier? Notice how he sets Rodriguez down and then just stands over him. He does this again against Lopez in the first round. It's like he is always looking for the walk-off KO, and while it looks cool when it works, I wouldn't want to see an opponent come back and him lose a decision because he could have finished the fight. That being said, Yanez has a challenging fight coming up on July 24th with a very game Randy Costa, and it is bound to be an exciting fight. This is one I'm very much looking forward to. Team Dr. Pepper versus Team Reese's shall clash, and I for one shall be entertained. Oh, how I love mixed martial arts. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and like the video as it really helps me out. Leave a comment about Adrian Yanez or his upcoming fight with Randy Costa. Are you Team Dr. Pepper or Team Reese's? Also, if you have any topics you'd like me to cover in MMA, feel free to leave that below as well, or reach out to me on Twitter at Pricora. I plan to do more videos such as this one in the future, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.